Hello, my beautiful balanced babes. I'm just checking in and going to share a little bit about my journey with the lovely COVID virus. So, as some of you already know, I had to cancel my clients last week because I tested positive. So I've been in home isolation for the last 7 days. Today's day 8. So I thought I'd just check in and share a little bit about how I'm feeling and what's been happening, because a lot of people have been asking me questions, how is it for you? And so I thought I'd share my journey. So for me personally, and the virus absolutely affects everyone very, very differently, because there's so many things at play there. And that is going to be things like your health status, your nutritional status, genetic predispositions, pre-existing health conditions, if you have, pre-existing diseases or weaknesses in your body, your diet, your lifestyle, your environment, the temperature and the climate where you live. There are so many different things that are going to determine how deeply affected by the virus you are personally. So for me personally, I feel that I was hit relatively strong. I had a relatively strong dose of the virus, I'll say. I did not need medical attention. I did not need to go to hospital. I'll be very open and transparent about the fact I'm not vaccinated, which was my personal choice. My stance is always do what's right for you, follow your intuition, do your research and choose what's right for you. I'm very pro-choice on that matter. So me being in, a healthy age bracket, age status, I didn't feel that I would need vaccination in order to protect me from the virus. So is it possible that if I had the virus, I may not have been as sick for the last week? Absolutely possible, maybe. But I certainly wasn't unwell enough that I was in any way panicked, worried, scared, fearing for my life. Everything was completely manageable. My symptoms started with a 24-hour migraine, which was quite relentless. I did take some pain relief and it didn't do anything. That only lasted 24 hours, and I had the first 3 nights I definitely woke up just a bit hot and sweaty. I didn't take my temperature. I didn't feel super, super uncomfortably feverish, but I definitely was hot and uncomfortable. And the main thing for me though was I had extreme body aches. So my groin area, my hips, my lower back, and even all the way up my whole back. And that lasted about 5 days on and off. So all through the nights and the evenings and the afternoons it was worse. I usually would get a break for a few hours of the morning. And that was the last time I've had a virus or a flu was 7 years ago, just after my dad died. And that was the only other time I can remember being sick really with a flu type thing. And it was really very, very similar to that. I'd never went to the doctors then, so I never had a test. I don't know what strain, what virus I had back then. But I liken it exactly to that. So I personally was taking liposomal vitamin C, quercetin, zinc, some plant-based vitamin D, as well as some homeopathic. So I didn't go down the track of having the ivermectin or the chlorine, I don't even know how to say it. I didn't feel I needed that sort of intervention. I just used a bit of Panadol a few times just to help me sleep, because the body aches was really the hardest thing for me personally. So that was the main thing. Then on about day 5, I had a sore-ish throat for about an hour, and it wasn't even sore. It was just that it was a little bit scratchy and uncomfortable, but it passed very quickly. Again, day 5, day 6, I started to get a little bit of congestion. I've blown my nose a couple of times here and there, but again, not a typical even head cold where you're dripping with snot and pouring out snot. But then definitely now, the last sort of days 5, day 6, maybe 6, day 7, definitely developed a slight sort of a weird chesty cough. Now again, I'm probably coughing once or twice in a 24-hour period, so it's hard to explain. There's definitely a little bit of lung inflammation going on, and the way that I would describe that is I'm not in any pain or discomfort. I'm having no troubles breathing, but definitely I know if I were to go out and try and exercise, my breathing would be laboured. I would feel a little bit in the chest, and I don't think that I would be able to exercise at the moment. It's not, there's an awareness of my lungs. I guess that's hard. I think if I really wanted to, I could take a deep breath and I'd feel like, yeah, there's a tightening in my chest for sure. So there's absolutely no doubt if you're someone that has pre-existing lung problems, maybe even really chronic asthma, you could feel even worse through this. But I'm of a very healthy person, so the virus really didn't knock me around too bad at all. I had to rest for a whole week. Absolutely. I obviously was isolating, so I wasn't seeing clients or anything like that as well. But definitely I had to rest. I would get a little bit of bouts of nausea. There was plenty of mornings I'd wake up and I felt fine. So I'd get up and I'd start doing housework and I'd start doing stuff, and quickly within an hour or so I'd go, oh yeah, I need to sit down and rest again. The nausea would start and I'd just feel yuck, and then by lunchtime the body aches would start. So what I wanted to mostly focus on sharing with you guys today though is really looking at the spiritual, emotional elements of getting sick. Now, this is one of the most beautiful things to recognize and understand in getting sick, because when we are uncomfortable, whether it be pain, headaches, nausea, fatigue, whatever it is, when our body is under duress, it gives us an opportunity to really go within and stare our limiting beliefs in the face. And so what I ask of you is, so for me, again, this was another one of the reasons why I chose to not take any medications, because I didn't want to suppress the process. I wanted the virus to run its course naturally in my body. Now, again, very easy for me to do that because I am of healthy nature. I wasn't in high risk groups of complications or anything like that at all. So I let it run its course. And so it was quite uncomfortable for the last 7 days. I was tired, which triggered impatience in me. I didn't want to be off work. I didn't want to be laying around doing nothing at all. And the body aches were quite uncomfortable. It was difficult to relax and get comfortable, especially at night, or, sleeping and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is, I want you to really, in those moments of those discomfort, really tune in and really start to identify the thoughts that are going through your head. What are the stories, the ego stories that you start to run? What are the emotions that come up? Is frustration, impatience, sadness. A lot of people will find that getting a virus is really a deep opportunity for our body to really connect in with suppressed, unaddressed emotional things that we have just, suppressed over the years that we haven't dealt with. They will come up in our weak moments. We call the dark night of the soul, in those middle of the night. I've spoken to other of my clients who have had COVID, and they've said their insomnia has come back tenfold, and they've just been laying awake all night, and which has then triggered anxiety, irritability, and all that sort of stuff. So use this as an opportunity if you are faced with COVID, to really tune in and feel in, and what are the stories that start running for you, because it's such a beautiful opportunity to go back and revisit and heal and release things. So another thing that I found, I was really, really triggered at one point a couple of days ago. Something out of my control happened, and it just made me so mad. And so it's given me an opportunity to really sit with that and explore it at a deeper level. What's going on? Why is this triggering me so much? What are the ego stories I'm creating around this event and stuff like this? So we're a lot more in tune with these emotional bits and pieces while we are, uncomfortable, while we're sick or unwell. It's like we're less robust, we're more sensitive, we feel things more deeply. And this is a beautiful thing. It's not comfortable. No one wishes to get sick, but there's actually beauty in getting sick. Because it forces us to stop and slow down and really be present with our body and tune in and acknowledge the things that are going on there for you within your body. Now, and I haven't quite got all the wisdom for what's happened for me over the last week yet in terms of the divine intervention. But if we look back 7 years ago after my dad died, my approach to trying to cope back then was I was just very much like, get on with it. I just want to kind of ignore it and get on with it. So after the funeral, I was ready to go straight back to work the next day. My body had another idea with me, and that's when I woke up the next day, aching all over, and I was clearly sick with some kind of flu. So my body forced me, my higher consciousness forced me to stop and take that time to grieve. Of course, I was very emotional. I spent the next 7 days in bed crying, watching movies, sad movies, and crying. And that was a necessary part of the healing. So this is this higher intelligence that our body has that forces us to look at things that we're not willing to look at. Okay, so definitely over this last 7 days, I'm launching a new program happening at the moment. And so rather than just diving in my usual way, go, rush, I've been forced to really sit back for the last 7 days and really slow down and stop and dot my I's, cross my T's, and be patient, which has given me space to meditate more and tune in more and get clearer on certain things. So even though it's been inconvenient not being able to work, there's always beauty. There's always magic in getting sick when it's of a viral nature. Okay? And I'm not talking about catching a disease because potentially, you've been neglecting elements of your health or, your lifestyle, you haven't been looking after yourself lifestyle, and then you develop a disease. This is very, very different. When we catch a virus, energetically, emotionally, it's an opportunity to learn and grow and learn so much more about something, a bigger picture that's going on within your world. Now, the other thing I just wanted to also make mention of is when we are triggered into some kind of a viral thing is your body goes into massive detox. And this is quite often why you experience a lot of the symptoms as well. It's not that you're getting attacked by a virus that's, destroying your body, so to speak. It's more that your body goes into detox as well. So that's just where, the achingness was being caused by this. I lost my appetite quite a bit. Headache, all these things, my body went into detox. So you want to really support that process while you're going. So I was fasting, was eating less. I was cold pressed juicing daily. I was having saunas to try and help with my symptoms. And I was drinking lots of water. So you really want to rest, slow down, honor those normal processes that the body goes through to really detox and heal and get better. Because what happens when we have some kind of a viral infection and we get the temperatures, it's basically a complete metabolic reset, and it basically goes through. It's like, think of like, they burn off with fires. They go through and they burn off all the old foliage. This is what happens within the body as well. It basically burns away old tissue and old immune cells, and it basically gives us an opportunity to reset and regenerate and start afresh within our body. And then we come out the other side, having gone through the dark night of the soul, the uncomfortable feelings for however many days. And the other side, we have this fresh new perspective on life, but this fresh new, from a cellular point of view as well. Sorry, my light's flicking, so you guys are probably seeing that happening as well. So I just wanted to share that. So because I don't want people to be living in fear of this virus, it's inevitable that this virus has to run its course, and most people are going to get it at some point. Whether you are VE'd or not VE'd, again, it's no issue on my behalf. I encourage you to do what's right for you. Know though, there are lots of things that natural medicine can do to help support you and to help you get through this process. I do phone consults. So if you are going through your viral thing and you're in home isolation for a week and you would like to have an appointment where you can just really talk with someone to help you bounce off all those limiting beliefs and the fears and the phobias and the stresses and the things that are coming up, I use a process called emotional evolution. I teach that process in my online course, the 7-Step Hormone Healing System. So just know there's always support, there's always answers. And the other thing that I thought would mention as well is I'm taking a homeopathic course now as well, post-viral, just to ensure that my body really does detox all of those viral remnants out of my body once and for all, so that I don't end up with some of this long COVID stuff that a lot of people are reporting 6 months on, they're still feeling symptoms. So this is where I'm taking virus. So if anyone wants information on the things that I've taken, like I said, quercetin, plant-based vitamin D, very important, zinc and liposomal C, and then the homeopathic formulation that I have. If anyone wants information, just send me a message. Happy to share more details on that. But basically, I just wanted to equip you guys with this, knowing that you will get through this. Obviously, if you're personally of someone of, in a vulnerable category, pre-existing health conditions, look after yourself, protect yourself, isolate yourself, do whatever your higher self is channeling for you to do to protect yourself and look after you, whatever medical intervention that you fits with you, because every single person's journey with this virus is going to be very, very different, and it's meant to be, because we all have different areas of our life growth that we need to overcome and work through. The virus is so much more complex than just catching a virus and getting sick, attacking the immune system. There is such a beautiful opportunity for growth and spiritual and emotional expansion as well, if you're willing to go within, look deep, dive deep, and really explore and break down and have a look at the emotions and things that are popping up for you over those 7 days. Big love to you all. Chat soon. Mwah.